Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the Sit Down, a sports and entertainment show on Facebook and on YouTube and on X, formerly known as Twitter. If you are just now tuning in, do us a favor and hit that like and share. Join us in the comments section. Bills Mafia, this is your source for all Bills coverage and the recent updates for the Bills roster. So without further ado, the guys from the Sit Down will be joining you momentarily. This is presented by Duff's Famous Wings and BuffaloSauceGod.com, hosted by the Sauce God, 12 Gauge, and Ramparts Hockey. All right, let me tell you something. Welcome on into the freaking Sit Down, presented by Duff's Famous Wings, presented by BuffaloSauceGod.com, hosted by myself, the Sauce God, joined here with my co-host, Ramparts Hockey, who is my guy that is always covering the Buffalo Sabres hockey. And I'm telling you what, they got a move that just happened today that is exciting. But then us and Bills Mafia today have seen the recent news as far as the roster moves that were made. We've also got 12 Gauge, who's over here. He's actually frozen temporarily. He's got internet issues because I'll tell you what, 12 Gauge is fired up to discuss NASCAR and the race that transpired at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway this past weekend. But if you're just now tuning in, this is the Sit Down, a sports and entertainment show. And again, presented by Duff's Famous Wings, the best damn chicken wings that there is. Remember, you don't have to ask for them extra crispy. That's how they come. And medium is hot. Remember that. When medium is hot. This is also presented by BuffaloSauceGod.com. If you're watching on X, formerly known as Twitter, join us on YouTube at Buffalo Sauce God, where you can follow and subscribe to all my social media platforms. We have to talk about the Bills. We got to talk about Sabres. We got to talk about the betting that has been going on for this group recently with Parlay Patron. We've got tons to discuss, so hit us with a like and a share. And also, feel free to join us here in the comments. Bills Mafia, NFL fans, everyone, Sabres fans. Let's get after this to Sit Down. 12 Gauge. Why don't we go ahead and play that introduction video and kick off this show? And let's get things rolling here.
Let's get this over with. 1, 2, 3, 4.
It's simple, baby. Buffalo Bills football is heck, all right? Let me tell you something.
I'm gonna crack a cold one because since it's a tailgate.
Ooh, ice cold, Mike. Let me tell you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are live here in the Sit Down with Sauce God, a sports and entertainment show.
I'm whipping the sauce, I'm tripping, of course, I want it all. All of my dogs be running with guard. Your mama, you holding your pennies and bra. Cause when I get whipping the sauce, you taking it off. I'm dancing on tracks like stuff in the yard. We keeping it quiet, we moving the signs. But now we starting to riot, yeah. Keeping my eye on the prize. I got me a queen, we riding like Bonnie and Clyde. Trips to Dubai, the way I be blessing. I'm destined for changing my decimals. Decibels hitting the wave, I'm rapping incredible. Splitting they head like a cantaloupe edible. Got me so high, I'm touching the sky. Of course, I give it my all. I'm whipping the sauce, kicking the door. But then we been here before. She ain't involved, well she ain't involved. Taking my shot, even if down, we tying the score. Do your dancing, now twist, don't stress, don't trip. Whipping sauce real quick, stay dripping. Sipping on cognac, roll tea in my veins, but you find that I'm whipping it, watch it get saucy.
How you doing it?
I'm twisting and mixing them, shaking them haters right off me.
What you doing?
You are here in the Sit Down, a sports and entertainment show hosted by myself, the Sauce God at Buffalo Sauce God, and Anthony Bomasudo on Facebook. And these are my co-hosts, Ramparts Hockey and 12 Gauge, and we have tons to discuss Bills Mafia. I want to get right into it. Bills had to make some really tough decisions today, and I think those decisions were at first unpopular with some, maybe expected by some, but nonetheless, they are moves that had to be made. Let's start it off with the news that caught everybody's eye. Safety Jordan Poyer was cut by the Buffalo Bills this afternoon. And these are things that have to happen because the Bills at the moment were over the salary cap, and these are player contracts that were having the team kind of held down. Then, followed by that, we had Mitch Morse and Siran Neal were cut around the same time as well. The center that has been the anchor for the Buffalo Bills offensive line with Deion Dawkins has now been cut by the Bills. Siran Neal, a great role player and a great addition for the Bills' depth and special teams player, was also cut. Finally, the one that I think I really had a hard time grasping, and I'm actually getting a little emotional talking about it right now, Tre White was cut by the Buffalo Bills this afternoon. Tre White has been with the Buffalo Bills since 2017 and has been all-pro caliber since his rookie season when healthy. And he suffered a tough ACL injury a couple seasons ago, and then followed that up with a an Achilles heel tear this past season as well. It's just really tough to see those kinds of things happen to a player like Tre White, who has given so much to this Bills team. But I think that there is a chance the Bills do re-sign some of these players because I believe there is mutual interest from both parties. I believe this is all a part of Brandon Beane's plan to do whatever he can to get the Bills in the right situation salary cap-wise, right? Because what is the Bills' biggest enemy going forward? The contracts of Josh Allen, Dawson Knox, and Von Miller, which was then renegotiated by the Buffalo Bills, making Von Miller have an $8-point-something million base salary instead of the $20 million that he was supposed to get. But he's now at $20 million with incentives possible. So that just gives Von Miller more and more reason to play his heart out for the Buffalo Bills, which is something that I've been saying here in recent shows right here in the sit-down, which you can catch us live here on Facebook at Anthony Bomasudo and on YouTube at Buffalo Sauce God and X, formerly known as Twitter, at Buffalo Sauce God, which please join us on the YouTube channel right now so you can join us here in the comments. We're going to talk about the Sabres here in just a few moments, but I have to really discuss with all you guys the way that I feel about these Bills moves. I think Jordan Poyer is getting to that age where the injuries are kind of ailing a little bit more and more. But I think Jordan Poyer can still play at a high level, so I think that it's tough. But that's kind of why we re-signed him the way that we did last season, so that we can maybe see if it worked out this year. But it kind of ends that era of Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer at the moment. Now, should we say that maybe some teams aren't as interested in Jordan Poyer as maybe that we would anticipate? It's possible. So therefore, the Bills may have a chance to re-sign him. I personally think, as much as I like Mitch Morse, great guy, he's given his heart to this team, and he's done great things since he has been a Buffalo Bill. But I think Mitch Morse, I'm okay with moving on from because of the contract situation, because he's had a lot of concussions. You don't know how much longer this guy is truly going to play for this team, and you have to draft, you have to add guys in through free agency, and you have to get rid of some of these contracts. So the Von Miller renegotiation was huge. Seeing Mitch Morse's contract shed, seeing Jordan Poyer contract shed, but the Tre'Davious one, that one really hurts. But I believe that there's a good chance the Buffalo Bills will want to re-sign him because I think that there's mutual interest on his part. Maybe there's not a lot of teams that are necessarily interested in Tre'Davious White's services at this moment because of his injuries that have happened. And I don't want to say that because I love Tre'Davious White. He's my favorite Buffalo Bill. And he was brought here to turn this franchise around, and he has done that and then some. First season he's with the Bills. They break the drought. And then he goes to the playoffs in most of the years that he's been here, except for 1 year, I believe it was. So that's something on Tre'Davious White's part, who has also, like I said, at times, in my opinion, been the best damn corner in football. He should have been Defensive Rookie of the Year his rookie season, but Marshawn Lattimore, I'll give it to him. You know what I'm saying? I'll give it to him. He was a great, he's great defensive back for the Saints as well, but still, it's tough to see that from Jordan, for Jordan Poyer, Tre'Davious White. Gage, let's start with you first, brother. Of course, you are a member of Bills Mafia. Guys, check him out on X and also check him out on Facebook. He's also the guy for our NASCAR coverage, which we'll talk about later in the show because it was his favorite race this past weekend. But 12, Gage, how did you feel about the moves, and how do you feel about the salary cap situation going forward?
Well, I certainly feel a lot better about the salary cap now than I did a few weeks ago when it was announced. It was like $41 million below the cap, but I'm feeling really good about it now. I've got a lot more cap space freed up, and like you said, I think they're potentially going to bring some of these players back, like possibly Mitch Morse, possibly Micah Hyde, possibly Tre White as well. Maybe Nyheim Hines. Who knows?
Now, I don't necessarily see that for Nyheim Hines because I think they've obviously got their answer at running back with James Cook, and I think that you can always add a guy in the draft, or you can kind of get some guy like Ty Johnson, per se, who was on the practice squad and doing a great job with the carries and the touches that he got. But I do think overall the Bills are adjusting themselves to become competitive in free agency and become competitive so that they are not thinking about rebuilding like some people would maybe anticipate. This is a team that has a franchise quarterback. When you have that, you already have the biggest part of your formula to winning a Super Bowl. I understand that defense wins championships, but Sean McDermott and the way that he has coached his defense has had this defense competitive, even without his star players on the field. Matt Milano, how about Von Miller for a lot of the year? Tre'Davious White at times. Jordan Poyer, Micah Hyde at times. I'm just saying, this is a team that knows how to build talent through the draft and knows how to build talent for their system through free agency, and it's sometimes in moves that we don't necessarily like because it's not a big splash. But they said to us a long time ago, trust the process, and right now I'm trusting the process because they made those tough decisions. But I believe they still have the core intact for what they are trying to do going forward. So I think maybe Dawson Knox, we see his contract put into question a little bit. I anticipate Josh Allen is going to restructure his contract as well because I believe Josh Allen wants to be as competitive as anybody else, and I think that he wants to win a Super Bowl just as much as anybody else in the NFL at the moment. Tyler, let's go on over to you, man. You obviously see Tre White play for the Bills for a lot of years now. You know what he meant to this franchise. What did you think of the Bills' moves and the renegotiation of the Von Miller contract?
Oh, man. Where do I even begin? So, Tre'Davious White, yes. I understand. He's your favorite Buffalo Bill. We got Rasul Douglas now, right? That's a guy that come in from Green Bay. He came in. He stepped in. He played huge minutes for this Buffalo Bills defense. Matt Milano's coming back. Now, Hines, the only reason why I could see bringing back Hines is for the kick return. I mean, that's the only reason to me because at the end of the day, I mean, running back is by committee, in my opinion. I would rather have 3 running backs hit 1,500 yards combined than have one workhorse that's going to get tired in the postseason. Look at Saquon Barkley right now. They're talking about New York Giants don't want to give him any money. Well, I mean, the running back market itself is just plummeted. So I think you can get a young guy in here to go along with James Cook. Maybe you need that lightning and that thunder, and you get a power back, and you just roll with the tide.
Overall, I think the Bills have to do a really great job in this upcoming draft, and I think a lot of us are wondering what they're going to do with that first-round pick. Of course, we know they traded Ryan Bates for a 5th-round pick, I believe it was yesterday, and that's a big thing, too, because you want to see the Bills trying to acquire as much draft capital as possible. I don't care if it's a 5th-round pick. There are guys that are 5th-round picks that have been successful. How about Khalil Shakir? He's been very successful for the Buffalo Bills, per se. I'm just saying, you can even sometimes pair up a couple picks, and you move up a little bit in the draft if you want to do that. And I don't know if the Bills are going to be necessarily aggressive in the first round. We saw them take Dalton Kincaid last year, and we see that to be a success. So is this a situation? Let me ask you this, both of you guys, and let me start with Tyler on this one. Rampart, what do you think? If you are in the situation where the Bills are drafting 28, are you then trying to trade up? Are you trying to just take the best player available at 28?
I guess it depends what's on the board. I mean, I'm going to get Josh Allen a new center. Mitch Morse is gone. You got to have somebody hiking the ball. The center is the second, in my opinion, one of the most important positions in football because because everything's timed on the center. The center's your quarterback of the line. He snaps the ball. He tells everybody to go. I mean, that's what I would be looking for. I would take that type of route, get an offensive lineman, somebody that will guard the trenches.
Yeah, exactly. And by the way, if you guys are just now tuning in, you're here in the Sit Down, a sports and entertainment show presented by Duff Wings and presented by BuffaloSauceGod.com, hosted by myself, the Sauce God of Bills Mafia, Rampart Taki, and 12 Gauge. We are always your home for Bills Mafia coverage and news and all the things that you need into the Bills outlook. And I'll tell you what, we give a great take. We give an entertaining take, but we also give you guys nothing but authenticity right here. So if you haven't already done so, make sure you're following, like, and subscribe on all social media platforms at Buffalo Sauce God on X, YouTube, and also on TikTok and Instagram, and at Anthony Bombasuit on Facebook. Also be on the lookout for the Gamebook Sports and Entertainment Network, where we'll be releasing more and more content. You can catch all sorts of great reels and all sorts of great coverage for all in the world of sports, and especially sports betting, which I'll tell you what, fellas, we've been hitting some good sports bets lately. I've got a little bit of NBA action in tonight. I'm curious as to if either of these guys got any NHL picks or anything like that. But let's go on over to Rampart with some Sabres talk here, because I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, I got to have 12 Gauge play me a video first. I need you to go ahead and play me a video of these guys are good, scary good, so we can hear about the Sabres' newest defenseman. Tell us, Tyler.
The man upstairs with the microphone would be very proud. would be very proud of both parties. Casey Middlestat, love the guy. Been in Buffalo Sabres for 7 years. Went through the AHL. Went through Rochester. Went all the way up. We groomed him. He was our guy, right? But there's only one problem. We have another guy named Dylan Cousins. At the end of the day, you got to make a choice, right? And we made that choice. We bring in a defenseman, Byron, who is as dynamic as it gets. I mean, we're pretty much taking like a 1980s route here with the guy Bobby Orr. I mean, you're getting a defenseman that plays offense, so to say. Like you're having a fourth offenseman on the ice at all times between Rasmus Dahlin and Byron. It's going to be unbelievable. I'm very excited to see number 4 in the jersey in the blue and gold. I'm very happy for him. He's 22 years old, won a World Juniors, won a Stanley Cup with the Colorado Avalanche, 4th round overall draft pick. I'm very stoked for this kid. I love to see it, and we definitely needed help defensively, and our offense is going to fire on all cylinders. So, Casey Middlestat, I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for representing this team, and best endeavors in Colorado, buddy.
Let me tell you something, Rampart. You know, it's funny that we were just recently talking about the things that the Sabres were going to have to do if we wanted them to turn this franchise around in the next coming season and a half, right? We already said that the playoffs are a wash for the season, but the Sabres can right now make use of what games they still have and the moves that they've recently made and the talent that they still have on this roster. They have an opportunity to find themselves turning the page for next season. I know everybody says we're always saying next season. I understand that. But right now we saw these things. Don Granato getting fired up and getting fined for it, right? We're seeing these guys with a new defenseman that has Stanley Cup experience. We talked about having some actual championship experience coming over to the squad. We still have that young talent with Rasmus Dahlin playing lights out. You still got Tage Thompson, who I think is still getting back to being healthy. I don't think he's at 100% Tage Thompson, but I think that 100% Tage Thompson is going to help take this team to the next level next season with these other moves that they have made. Now, I'm wondering about Don Granato and Rampart. I'm curious as to what you think about Don Granato going forward. Has he shown you enough to maybe do one more season, or is it time to maybe cut time?
Now, I believe he's done enough to show me that he deserves 2 more seasons, because I believe this guy, he is the answer. You know, at times, yeah, I think he's soft or whatever. But, you know, at the end of the day, I mean, it's all about who you're going to play for, right? So I think, you know, between Benson, between all these young guys that we have, I think they really look up to Don Granato because of that USA coaching experience and because this city is very hungry. Buffalo, New York is a very hungry city. I mean, with anything, lacrosse, football, hockey, baseball, anything, we're very hungry and we're very competitive. So I'm very excited to see where this goes long term.
Exactly. And speaking of being hungry, this show, The Sit Down, is a sports and entertainment show on Facebook and on YouTube Live. We randomly pop up. We're usually live on Tuesdays, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturdays. But this is presented by Duff's Wings, which I want to remind everybody, because it is Wednesday, that all March, every Wednesday, all day long, the Duffs will be doing dollar wings, up to 10 wings. There is a fine print with it, but still, 10 of Duff's wings for $10 is like literally getting a bar of gold for half price, okay? And that's all I'm saying. Like, this is just exactly the kind of things that you want to be doing. So remember to go and get yourself some Duffs. Go to the original on Sheridan Drive. You're never going to have to worry about the extra crispiness. You don't have to ask for them extra crispy. And remember that medium is hot, okay? They also got some new flavors, and I'll tell you what, maybe some of those flavors are a little courtesy of the Sauce God, you know what I'm saying? But if you haven't already done so, ladies and gents, hit us with a like and a share. Join us here in the comments. This is The Sit Down, hosted by myself, the Sauce God, Anthony Bomasudo, on Facebook and on all my social medias at Buffalo Sauce God, and hosted also by Ramparts Hockey and 12 Gauge, which, by the way, let's go on over to 12 Gauge with some NASCAR talk. Let's go into the 12 Gauge 500. And talk a little bit about what you saw transpire at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway this past weekend. 12 gauge. You know, it's your favorite racetrack. What did you see transpire from the overall performance by Kyle Larson?
Well, I just saw complete domination by that number 5 HendrickCars.com Chevy. But
I mean,
also
he fucking dominated, dude. Like, you
dominated.
couldn't catch him. He was just, there was a brief moment. It was a brief moment that he was almost got caught with Gage. Tell me, dude, what did Kyle Larson just do different?
Kyle Larson was just doing Kyle Larson things, riding that low line, riding that middle line, riding that high line, using that dirt track experience from past years. But also, I do want to talk about one other thing. On Friday night, Rajah Caruth got his first career pole and won his first career NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series race on Friday night.
Oh, that's a fucking quite the accomplishment.
Quite the accomplishment, yes. Big shout out to Rajah Caruth.
Good stuff from 12 gauge. That's our NASCAR expert over here. And by the way, 12 gauge, what do you think of the overall dominance from Hendrick Motorsports and those Chevys through the beginning of the NASCAR season? What do you think of the upcoming race?
Oh, Phoenix could be a tough one for them Chevys. Last year, in November, Ryan Blaney won his championship. He, of course, drives a Ford. So I am not quite sure about Chevy power at Phoenix. I just don't know.
Whenever I played NASCAR Heat 5 against, and I played with Gage, nobody could touch him on Las Vegas Motor Speedway. I'm telling you, I don't care if you had a fucking souped-up car that literally went 10 miles an hour faster on the track. You could not beat 12 gauge in the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. I'm just telling you, he didn't need help. I was over there, making sure but he didn't need help. He was literally just fucking laughing at me at some point. It's like, whoa. I'll tell you this much, so I sucked racing at Phoenix. But without being, we got Phoenix up and coming 12 gauge. I know it's an exciting race. Hendrick Motorsports has dominated from start to finish. And I'll tell you what, Bills Mafia and everybody that's been watching here so far here in the sit down, it's been a great show. We have to discuss a little bit more as far as the action that may be transpiring for some sports betting. 12 gauge. We got to go ahead I'll take that action, and we're going to talk a little bit about the world of sports betting and the parlays that we've been hitting as of recent, and a little bit more to discuss about Parlay Patrol. Let's play that video. Yeah, hey guys, life is too short to bet the under. I don't care if it's 59, I don't care if it's 67, you gotta ride the fucking over.
This is fucking ridiculous. We need a fucking touchdown. The stakes are high for these ones, boys.
Over-unders, give me points.
Man.
So I do know that the Sabres are currently playing against the Leafs tonight, correct?
Yep.
So that's a game I'll tell you to take the over, because that's something we're going to see a little bit of a fucking slaughter potentially. I'm pretty sure. Are they playing at the moment, Tyler, or no?
Yes.
So I know you're itching to go watch the Sabres take on the Leafs, which I'm definitely trying to go and get that on the stream somewhere. But, let me tell you this, ladies and gentlemen, we have been playing a system of bets in this little group that we have called Parlay Patron, which will be coming to you guys very, very soon. I can't give you guys an exact date, but I'll tell you that you do not want to miss it. So make sure you're following, liked, and subscribe with your notifications turned on so you don't miss any of the live shows or any of the content. Also, we just got a little bit of a update. The Bills agreed to a 3-year, $14.5 million deal with safety Taylor Rapp that just came across. That is breaking news.
I love that.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Trust the process. This is a guy that I spoke about on the last show, too. I said that I thought that there was a chance that maybe we're going to go ahead and extend him because he's shown us in training camp. He showed us during the regular season. It's hard to keep him off the field. And I think that's kind of what made this whole situation a little bit easier for the Bills. I think that's a team-friendly deal, too. You know, you got him for 3 years there. I like the numbers there as well. So I think the Buffalo Bills are already trying to put themselves back in a position where they're not going to have to worry about competing. I think the Bills Mafia needs to always remember that when, again, I've said this before and I'll say it again and I'll continue to say it, that when you have a franchise quarterback, as long as you continue to build around him and as long as you keep him happy and you keep him working, you are always going to be competitive as long as the rest of the core is intact and as long as there is a culture of winning, which is what we have at One Bills Drive. Am I right, fellas? I'm pretty sure I'm right about that. I'm pretty sure all you out there in Bills Mafia can agree. We've seen postseason success. We have seen us getting close enough to the dance, but hey, I'm like everybody else. I want to see us win a Super Bowl, and I'm a little impatient at times, but I'm patient enough to understand that this is a tough business. But it's a job that Brandon Beane, I think, continues to do well over and over and over again. And that's something I could say with nothing but confidence. So if you guys haven't already done so, hit us with a like and a share and join us here in the comment section. We are live talking about the Bills Mafia moves that have been made today and also about the Sabres moves today. We talked about a little bit about NASCAR. 12 gauge, you got any sports betting picks that you want to offer these people before I get back into the Parlay Patron?
I was gonna say take the over for the Cavs and who are the Cavs playing? Atlanta tonight.
Yep. I agree with that one. Bada bing, bada boom. 12 gauge
Bada
game,
bing.
free pick. Now, let me tell you something. Parlay Patron is a little thing that we got coming to you guys. It will be a subscription service, but it's one that's got an actual shown mathematics and evidence, okay, of the wins that we have. We have a 15-leg parlay that was hit, 17-leg parlay, a 19-leg parlay, a 20-leg parlay. It's not exactly what you would think. It's not betting the minus 110s or the plus money lines. You're picking things that are heavy favorites, but it's a specific system. You can't just go onto every NBA game and pick, it's specific players, specific ways and numbers that you got to do it, and specific teams. Okay, so that's something that you guys want to get into with Parlay Patron. That is something that will be coming to you guys very soon. But we do not encourage or endorse any illegal or underage gambling of any sort. Bet and play at your own risk where it is legal to do so. If you have a problem with gambling, there is a hotline with help available to you. This is The Sit Down, a sports entertainment show hosted by myself, the Sauce God, Ramparts Hockey 12 Gauge, presented by Duff, Miss Wings, and BuffaloSauceGod.com, the home for Sauce God merchandise, and also the home for daily entertainment and Sauce God sports entertainment, all that mumbo jumbo. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's keep it going here on the show. Tyler, let me ask you something as a Saints fan. How do you feel about the season that you guys have up and coming?
Oh, man. Well, the one thing that's going for us is our division's wide open, right? So, I mean, I don't know, man. It's kind of up in the air with the Saints, right? Because, they got a lot of cap issues, too. He brought up my guy, Marshawn Lattimore. I love him. But, Dennis Allen, is he the answer? Is he the answer at head coach? Come on.
Also, too, I wonder if Derek Carr is truly the answer at quarterback.
He's not.
He's just incredibly inconsistent. And I hate to say it because when he played for the Raiders, I always thought since he was a rookie, he had what it took. You just have to give him some development. I think he's got to develop him into a system. And I think the Raiders are kind of a little too dysfunctional for him to kind of take that next step. I mean, he had some really baller games. He had a 500-yard game when he was a Raider. I think maybe it was his second year when they got Amari Cooper or something like that. But I'm just saying, you have to have the franchise quarterback, and I don't think that the New Orleans Saints at this moment have that franchise quarterback. So do you think that there's a chance maybe the Saints try to move themselves up into the first round of the draft and find themselves the quarterback of the future?
Hopefully they take Daniels. That would be great. Move up all the way to 3. Let's take him.
Yeah, hey, and also, too, boom, you got the LSU kid. You got to keep him in
LSU,
New Orleans. It makes sense. And that kind of just pairs up really well. I like that very much. 12 gauge, overall, Jordan Poyer's gone. We got Taylor Rapp. Do you feel confident that with that going forward, or are you still going to try to re-sign Jordan Poyer for less deal?
I mean, before you said, before that news came across that Taylor Rapp has been extended for 3 more years, I was kind of looking for Jordan Poyer to get re-signed potentially. But now that you said that, I am kind of liking that Micah Hyde, Taylor Rapp connection that they've got. That dynamicness that Poyer and Hyde had when he was here. I saw flashes of Taylor Rapp doing that this past season.
I got you. Bada bing, bada boom, you cheat the rule. Now, 12 gauge, I need you to do me a favor. Play me the video next of the one-timer because we're going to go all do our little segments here and we're going to all get out of here. But I want to talk to Tyler about the current Leafs and Sabres matchup and the way that the Sabres are playing. Let's get fired up. Let's play the one-timer video right here. Be fired up.
It's currently 0-0 at the end of the first period. Okay. I think the Buffalo Sabres, like you said, dude, take the season one at a time. I'm definitely going to the next game. I'm going to greet the new guy with tons of energy in that stadium. I'm going to dance with the tooth. I'm going to do everything possible to get this team fired up. You know, we're coming off a win. We beat Vegas 7-2. That's a statement game right there. That's huge. I know Jack Eichel wasn't playing, yada, 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 whatever. It doesn't matter. I'm not worried about him, right? What I think we just take the season with a grain of salt. We go in, you know, guys are still young. They're still growing. The NHL is a very hard league. Everybody needs to calm down because once everybody calms down and they stop, you know, giving them in their own stadium, everything will be fine. Everything will be fine. It's Buffalo, New York. We understand. It's very tough to please everybody here because we live in Western New York. Taxes are high. Everything's stressful. You know, people got to work. It is what it is at the end of the day. I mean, you got to be patient with these guys. Rasmus Dahlin is still a very young player and who I think is going to be the captain of this team going forward. Middlestat, I get it. I loved him. He was great, but he ain't wearing the A on his sweater, and I think that's what he wanted. So, at the end of the day, everybody just hold their horses here and let it ride, baby. Let it fucking ride.
Because, you know, it's not some kind of fucking throwaway game, no?
No,
exactly. You know what I'm fucking saying? Now, 12 games, let's go ahead. Let's play your video next of the winner's circle, and let's talk about the dominance of Kyle Larson. Let's get a little fired up about that.
Hendrick Motorsports won the Daytona 500, won this past weekend in Vegas, baby. Yeah. This Hendrick Motorsports team has always been my favorite motorsports team of my life. My favorite driver was Jeff Gordon. He drove for Hendrick his entire career, 93 wins.
Fucking Jimmy Johnson.
But this next Jimmy Johnson, 7 championships. This new generation, though, I'm looking forward to see what they can do with the rest of their careers, baby. Let's go.
Exactly. And hey, ladies and gents, stay tuned with us for more NASCAR coverage as we have the Phoenix race up and coming this weekend. You guys can catch us probably live on Friday night, maybe tomorrow night. I'm not sure, but that's why you want to make sure you're liked and you're following and you're subscribed with your notifications turned on so you don't miss any of the live content or any of the up-to-date news for Bills Mafia and the Buffalo Bills and everything in the world of sports entertainment and sports betting. You can find that right here at Buffalo Sauce Guide and at Anthony Palmasuto's Facebook. And also, you can follow these guys on Twitch, and you can also follow them on Facebook. And I believe Gage is also on X, formerly known as Twitter. And also, Tyler is available on TikTok with his clips from NHL, one of the best damn streamers that you'll find, and also some of the best damn gameplay you're going to find. So, Bills Mafia, we're going to go into our final segment here before we get out of here. And it's going to be the Getting Saucy segment, and that is presented by Duff's Miss Wings and also BuffaloSauceGod.com right here on Facebook and Anthony Palmasuto, and at YouTube and X, formerly known as Twitter, at Buffalo Sauce God. And also, I'm available for anybody who wants to talk anything about Bills Mafia, anybody wants to talk anything about the world of sports betting. You guys can hit either of us up, all three of us up. I'm sorry. We have that Parlay Patron coming to you guys soon enough. So 12 gates, let's play the Getting Saucy segment and let's get the heck out of here.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
Ice cold, nice, refreshing Labatt Blue on a fierce storm behind J817.
It's a cold front, is what that is.
I'm fired up this week, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to get you fired up. Bills Mafia, you want to hear me getting saucy this week? It's simple. Mac Jones and the New England Patriots, and also, too, the Miami Dolphins, and anybody that's got anything bad to say. Bills by a billion, baby. Let's go. Let's go, Bills.
Everybody counts the Buffalo Bills out. I fucking think it's hilarious, because why would you count out the team that's been doing it, done it again, and still doing it? You know what I'm saying? Because that's what Brandon Beane does. He's Big Baller Beane for a reason, not because he makes a couple of moves, because he does it year in and year out. And this is a tough industry. This is a very, very tough thing, because I'm going to tell you something, man. The NFL is a cold-blooded business. We have so much love for Jordan Poyer. We have so much love for Mitch Morse. We have so much love for Tre White. We do. But at the same time, we want to win a Super Bowl. You can't keep guys around when they're fucking 45 just because you feel like it. Not everybody in this world is Tom Brady. But if we want to win a Super Bowl, Bills Mafia, we have to continue to make moves and make room for the salary cap purposes, which we've been blessed with a salary cap increase. We're blessed with the money that has been freed up from the Jordan Poyer cut, the Mitch Morse cut. So that's sad as to say, a Tre White cut. But then we re-signed. We extend Taylor Rapp for 3 years at a very, very good price that is going to be team friendly for a guy that I think is a young talent and is going to fill in at that safety role nicely. There are other question marks that exist, but let's leave it to the guys at One Bills Drive to figure it out. And let's have some trust. Let's have some faith and trust in the process. I understand some people have issues with Sean McDermott. They think we've hit our ceiling and maybe we've peaked, but I don't think so. I think that if we have guys that have want it bad enough, then boom. We have what it takes. We will make the moves that are necessary. But Bills Mafia, that's going to do it for us here at Getting Saucy. This is the Sit Down presented by Duff Wings and presented by BuffaloSauceGuy.com, live on Facebook and live on YouTube and live on X, formerly known as Twitter. Make sure you're following, like, and subscribe at Buffalo Sauce God and then Anthony Bomasudo on Facebook, where you can get all your up-to-date Bills news and coverage. Bills Mafia Reels, all sorts of sports entertainment, all sorts of news for the world of sports betting with Parlay Patron, hashtag Parlay Patron up and coming. I'd like to thank my co-host, Mr. Ramparts Hockey. How you feeling about the Sabres going forward out of the first period, Mr. Rampart?
I think we got the dub 2-1, buddy. 2-1.
I'm liking it. 12 Gauge, I'd like to thank you as well, the producer of the show, the guy manning the boards, and also the longtime vice president of the Gamebook Network, which will see more of that coming. If for all your sports entertainment needs, 12 Gauge, appreciate you the heck out of you, and also covering the world of NASCAR for us, guys. Make sure you stay tuned for more NASCAR coverage in the coming days. We have Phoenix up and coming. And, of course, I am the Sauce God at Buffalo Sauce God and Anthony Bomasudo. And I'd like to thank my girlfriend for the wonderful voiceover intro and that is on the video. And I'd like to thank Mark Lee, the official recording artist with the song Sauce. He's from Buffalo, New York. He's a local hip-hop artist. He recorded the Sauce song, which is the official song in the intro for the sit-down. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for us. We'd like to thank everybody for your likes, your shares, and everybody for viewing here tonight in the Sit-Down and Sports Entertainment Show, and also your Bills Mafia coverage, your Sabres coverage, and also everything in the world of sports entertainment and sports news. We love you guys. See you soon. As always, God bless. Go Bills. Bolster up and find and make plays.